So back early in Drake's career, around the time where he said "Diss me and you'll never hear a reply for it" on Successful, he was new. Most people loved him, but there were very few people who didn't. Charlemagne was one of them. All of these people, of course, were older than Drake. And guess what? Common was one of them. So Common decided to come out, and I don't know if Drake shot some subliminals at him first. I highly doubt it, especially being that young in the game. But Common came out and he did like a whole subliminal diss record towards Drake, for one of his albums and stuff like that. Basically calling him soft. Drake went in and, he did Stay Scheming. Everybody remember that. And he said, like a finish line, I can't wait to run into you. Common rapped over the same beat and he hit him with the legendary line, the Canada Dry. So with that, you had that beef. That beef was what it was. And it was the first mainstream American rap beef that Drake had. So with that, Common talks about how they squashed it. He was on Drink Champs recently, and he mentioned that Drake's father really played a pivotal role in getting that squash. So listen to this.
And I eventually saw Drake face to face, and I was at a point where I was like, "What's up?" And we had little words, and then it's over. And then his father was there, and was like, "Y'all need to squash this." And I was like, "Man, this is an elder talking to me. This is man father. Let me chill out." And then Drake just was like, we talked, and he was like, "Man, I ain't on this, blah blah blah." So we just squashed it. I was like, "Listen, if we face to face and it ain't nothing, then all right, I'm even if it was some subliminal distance, I said what I had to say. Yep. Right now, we saying we squashing it, we good. So I've been good since then."
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. As a hip hop historian, I look at Common as an expert at squashing beef because he dissed the West Side Connect gang with the song "I See the Bitch in You," and then somehow ended up on the Barbershop franchise. I don't know if he told the story about that on Drink Champs, but like that story need to be told on him, how him and Ice Cube patched it up. I ain't never seen that. That's something that, because that diss, I'm not gonna lie, what he did against Drake, that was cool, but like for the time frame that it happened in, and for Ice Cube to be the guy who dropped No Vaseline, which is one of the best diss tracks of all time, for the West Side Connect gang to be such like gangster ass artist and Common to not be that, and for him to come out and do a song called I See the Bitch in You, and for them to never respond to it, it's just like one of those things that's like, man, how did this cat end up on Barbershop though? Like fucking 15 years later, 10 years later, whatever it was. But, other than that, man, it's good that they squash it as far as him and Drake. I like to see peace, and this is the thing, I like rap battles and stuff like that, but I'm glad that the actual battle leagues exist because, even though they have some drama sometimes too, sometimes you could get those bars drama free. And when it comes to this rap shit, these gangster dudes be so sensitive and like, I just seen a video the other day where Drake got like some chick boyfriend packed out outside of Delilah and stuff like that by a boxer and Chubbs. So with that being said, it can get wicked, it can get crazy. And it took Drake a minute to get to that point where he could say, hey, go handle that. So Common is lucky he didn't run into him or beef with him in a certain era because that's what it would have been. And I'm positive, the Common is not running around with the steppers, man. And even if he is, I'm sure Drake rolling deeper with more buffer niggas and all that shit. But regardless, man, enough of the speculation. Let me know your thoughts. I'm out.